Welcome to day 3 with your blocks. Today we're going to do a few sort of low to the ground postures, starting with child's pose. So take the knees out wide, big close to touch, sit back towards the heels, arms reaching out. So a lot of us have this problem where we try to bring our head down to the ground but it won't quite go. So you can place the block underneath your forehead to support you. And again, you can adjust the height of it, you can bring it up high, maybe you're up here. Because child's pose is quite a restful posture, we want to be able to fully relax into it, and if we're stressing about, what parts of our body are doing, or worrying that we can't get our head to the ground and trying to force our way there, it's not very restful at all. So having that extra support, lifting the ground up to you, can be really useful. So the next thing we're going to look at is a seated posture, so Sukhasana. I'm going to place my block here, and I'm just going to sit onto the block, crossing my legs, and just allow the hips to roll forwards. So if you're one of those people that can't manage to sit with both sit bones on the ground in this position, maybe your knees are right up here, it's going to be really beneficial for you to just lift the hips slightly. It's going to help you to sit up tall through the spine. And again, you can play with the height, you can even use a cushion or anything for that. So that's Sukhasana. And the same goes for any sort of seated postures like this really, where you're not doing too much movement. If you're doing meditation, it's really great because it just allows the blood flow to go into the lower legs, because if we sit for too long like this, we tend to get pins and needles, but when we have our hips lifted, it just enables that blood flow to reach the sort of the feet and the lower parts of the legs. Lovely. So moving on to puppy pose. The usual setup would be hands and knees, and then walking the hands forwards, dropping the head and the chest down. So again, just like we did in child's pose, you can bring a block to rest your head on. It doesn't quite reach the ground. Alternatively, if you wanted to go a little bit deeper, the blocks are really great to place your elbows on. You're just going to bring the hands together in prayer and allow the head and the chest to melt down between the blocks. So that way you get in a deeper stretch into the shoulders and into the triceps as well. And the last one we're going to look at is hero pose. So, I don't know if it's best to show you this way or that way, I'll show you both. So if you take your feet out slightly to the side, you're going to try and sit your bottom down to the ground between your, between your heels. For me, I'm comfortable enough here, but my bottom isn't quite on the ground. So I'll show you from this side what I mean. So we're trying to sit in between our feet. So I'm not quite there. It feels okay, but it can be quite intense on the knees. So you can use just maybe one block or two if that feels better for you. Yep, that feels great. So it enables you to get into this position, keep the spine nice and tall, keeping any pressure out of the knees and the hips as well. So there are just a few more ideas for you to help with your practice.